seem to surface. You didn't find them in government. You didn't find them anywhere as generals, as in fact, these were usually, I think most of these were people that nobody even knew anything about, except for, of course, maybe some in the highest government may have known who they were. But I'm going to venture out and guess that maybe that even most of them didn't really know these people. Who are these people? Where? Let's where are these people? Well, these people, they exist in just about every country. Not quite anymore, but they were pretty much in every country. And obviously, Mexico still has them. Bolivia doesn't anymore. The Philippines don't anymore. Russia doesn't anymore. Hungary doesn't anymore. I have heard that let's see, the country Hitler was from, Austria. I understand Austria had given them 28 days or something. I forget the exact days, but also had given them only a certain number of days to leave the country, or they will be driven out. And I think most of us who have caught on to how this world operates and who is behind it, we really can't wait either until they are driven out of our country. Wherever we are, it doesn't really matter. But I want to refer to a blog post this morning, actually more than one, but I want to refer to one. So I'm going to share the screen here and just go to that blog post. We'll go to the home page, actually. Was it this? No, not this one. Let's go to the next one. Yeah. Yeah. Let's see if I hope it records, or I hope it plays. It isn't. It does not. Oh, that's why. Okay. Okay. Can you hear it on your computer?
The living caricature of the bloated, pompous bankster, Augustine Carstens, of the Bank of International Settlements, is once again pontificating about the dangers of cryptocurrency, reiterating its faithless claims that crypto represents a bubble, a Ponzi scheme, and an environmental disaster, unable unable to find new arguments against the ever-growing market, which represents a significant threat to his own livelihood in a banking system challenged by the rise of Bitcoin, the Mexican fat cat regurgitated his condemnation of cryptocurrencies in a recent interview published by the BIS. Carstens asserted that digital tokens like Bitcoin don't have what it takes to function as a legitimate currency. He argued that crypto mining is akin to creating money out of nothing, as if electricity too comes from nowhere. The overtly promotional interview with Basler Zeitung, which refers to the rotund economist as a San Agustin in its first sentence, as if to drive home the idea that his opinions are worth the pages they're printed on, asked the big banker a series of softball questions intended to promote a Luddite view of financial tech. Young people should use their many talents and skills for innovation, not reinventing money, said Carstens in a response to a question about whether the Bitcoin generation was having a positive impact on young people by making them more aware of finance. So he calls for young people to innovate, but what can be more innovative than creating an entirely new monetary system? The establishment economist continued, "It's a fallacy to think money can be created from nothing. Glance back into the past, and you will see that creating gold or money from nothing has been a regular obsession. It never worked. So my message to young people would be, stop trying to create money. Hey, Augustine, what are dollars and euros created from?" Much like pre-20th century slave owners before him, who opposed the invention and widespread adoption of the cotton gin, Carstens is of the view that blockchain networks represent a threat to his financial interests. "I'm concerned by the pace of technological progress. In principle, it's a positive thing, but when innovation hurls ahead, it can be destructive for workers in particular," said Augustine, as if the well-being of workers is suddenly a priority for banksters whose only real goal is to milk profit from creating money out of thin air. The challenge lies in using innovation to our advantage while containing the damage it causes. Here I'm thinking, for example, of the impact of information technology in finance, fintech, on, say, the business models and ultimately the stability of banks and other financial institutions. Could he sound any more desperate? At least he's actually right about something. Cryptocurrencies have the potential to make most of today's banks and financial systems obsolete while returning the power of money back to the people. The best part is, the constant FUD being spread by these criminals is evidence that they are afraid, and we're winning. Augustine noted that the development and adoption of crypto was of great concern to the economy as a whole. The man clearly fears the development of peer-to-peer decentralized currency, as it'll certainly put him and the rest of his cronies in the central banking cartel out of business, and we'll all be better off for it. Stick with us here at the Dollar Vigilante and make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel down below for the best financial news and investment ideas.
Okay. I always love his way of putting things. Wow, is that just fantastic? Okay, so now here's the real idea. He was talking about Bitcoin. How did he say it? The Mexican financial fat cat, or whatever he called him. I forget the exact term. I liked it anyway. It sounded pretty good. He was concerned about Bitcoin, but Bitcoin isn't nearly the biggest threat to the banksters or to the banking cartels. Okay, the real threat to the banking cartel is TBC. Okay, so anyway, let's look at this here blog post, I wanted to make everybody aware of this post here as well, because migration is now automated at TBC.004 and Kringle.cash. So here you can go through the information. Well, let's just do that. Okay, the migration window is rapidly closing. Yes, we have only about another half a month, left until migration is over. Okay, let's look at that. July 31st, the 004 web wallet will be shut down permanently. In other words, you will not have access to your 004.net funds unless you complete migration by July 31st, 2018. Manually processing migration has been a slow process for the support team, and we have finally, as of this week, moved to an automated migration. You'll now see the migration section in your web wallet only if your web wallet fee is paid. It's a 3-step simple process. To start, you can log into your 004.net web wallet and follow the steps. Excuse me. All right, so the steps are right here laid out. It's simple. Okay, create an account, your 009, at TBC009.net with the same email ID, your email address, as you have in your Kringles.cash or your old 004.net wallet. Okay, use the same email. Step 2, use the form below to transfer your current balance to the 009, right? Logging in, when you're logged in to your 004, that's step 2, is log into the 004.net and transfer your coins. Step 3, please click this link to complete migration questionnaire. There you have it, folks. It's very, very simple. Very straightforward. You simply create a new wallet and then 009 wallet, and then you enter your use the below transfer, use the form below to transfer your current balance to the 009. Funds migrate Okay, so here it says email address of your new 009 wallet must be the same as the 004. Okay, and this is in the 004.net wallet, and then you click here to complete the questionnaire. Very simple. All right, so go to, here we are. Here's the steps right here. It's in writing, completely clear. Okay, you go to the 009.net, and with the same email address as your 004.net web wallet, register at the 009 wallet. You will be prompted upon registration to select a security question and set your security answer. Enter it twice, then you will be asked for the third time. You will be asked for it a third time to complete the login. Okay, very simple, very straightforward. Okay, so use the form below to transfer your current balance to the 009 wallet. If you do not use the same email address, the transfer will not be successful, and you will be advised that no account exists at the 009.net. Please click the link below, the link to complete the migration questionnaire. And that was, as we said, this link right here. Okay, step 3. So this is the 10 questions from which form which requires you to read and successfully pass before your send button is turned on at the 009.net wallet. If you have not completed this questionnaire, your web wallet send button will not be turned on, even though your coins are migrated. Please promptly complete the questionnaire. In the funds migration box, simply enter your email address if you have completed the steps above and passed the migration and pass the migrate button. Press the migrate button. That should what should you expect? Your 004.net web wallet will be queued for migration, and you can expect your funds to arrive in the 009 wallet in less than 24 hours. Your 004.net web wallet will show 0 coins upon the pressing of the migrate button. Do not be alarmed. All right, so there's 004 will show 0 as soon as you click the button to transfer the balance, but it could take up to 24 hours before they will show up in the new wallet. Okay, so just be aware of that. You may also migrate within Kringle.cash using the migration menu there. You will be required to complete the 10 questionnaires test, and at the end you will be you'll be given instructions to migrate your 004 web wallet by visiting the 004.net and following the steps above. All right. So if you do it from your Kringle.cashback office, you'll be answering the questionnaire, and then it'll prompt you to go to this form here. Okay. Okay. You may also. Oh, I just read that. Okay. It doesn't matter which way you decide to migrate your coins, but you can only do this process once. Okay, thank you very much, admin, for making it automated and for posting the clear instructions on the blog here. Truly appreciate all the effort and the work that you do for us for so incredibly cheap, only $10 a year for the Kringle.cashback office. All right, so again, thank you, admin. All right, so I'm going to actually stop the screen share. I might go back to it a little bit later, but for now, let's go back to the video or back to the screen here. Okay, so stop the screen share. Okay, there you have it. The migration is now automated and it's easy to do. It's great. Okay, so Jules Ann, thank you for joining me here. Marjorie, thank you for moderating, and Stephen Cuffey, thank you very much for joining me here. How did you find that toolbox or that slideshow I created, Stephen? Okay, how did you? I don't mean how did you come across it. I mean how was it? I'd like a heads up on it to see what you think of it. Okay, that's basically what I meant. All right, and Mahalko88, thank you as well for joining me. And yeah, so thank you everyone. I appreciate very much that you pardon? Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. It's I just noticed them. I figured I'd go through it, and yeah, please remember to like my video, my hangout. Okay, what I wanted to do is in this hangout, I want to talk a bit more about the wealth of TBC. That video from that was put on the blog, I just really appreciate. Matter of fact, I watch a lot of Berwick's videos. We're actually moving to Mexico in a couple of weeks, and we will be and we won't be living very far from where Jeff Berwick lives. It's not very close, but well, actually it is quite close. But I mean, not like next door neighbors or anything. But we're going to be there. We're going to be living in Mexico, not very far from them. I think it's in a neighboring state. I don't think we're going to live in the same state, but I think it's in a neighboring state, but it's still not very far. Anyhow, what I wanted to elaborate a little bit more on is the wealth of TBC. As the video that Jeff Berwick played was talking about Bitcoin. I don't know if they're really talking about TBC. It could have a bit of a play in that. I'm not quite sure how stealth TBC is at this point. Like when it comes to reaching the radar the banking cartels, like this. What did he call him? Mexican fat cat or something? Bloated fat cat. Anyhow, they are those guys. They are getting they're getting worried, to say the least. They're getting worried about losing their foothold on the manipulation of humanity through the control of the monetary system. And folks, the fact that they're getting nervous is excellent news for us. This is super good news for us. And if, say, I was going to say this, that if they're worried about Bitcoin and they're harping about, they're harping over Bitcoin and that kind of stuff, that's great. That's awesome. That's awesome, because that keeps us under the radar for longer. And as the more we can spread out under the radar, the better off we are. The more power we gain before all of a sudden they realize the seriousness of their threats, of the threats to their to their control, as it were. And this is really good news for us. So the wealth of TBC, looking at economies, at literal local, how should we say, local, building local strong economies, or I don't mean economies, communities. That's what I meant. Strong local communities, which will provide healthy food. It will provide all of the needs of mankind from locally, not hauled from everywhere across the world. That doesn't mean it's not available if we want it, but it's certainly the amount of money that now goes into packaging and shipping and all of that, and not just that. That isn't really not nearly the worst part about it. The worst part about it is the fact that all of these foods that are in the grocery store, most of them are poisoned. They're poisoned by preservatives and all kinds of things. Through the processing of the foods, and this is what we need to move away from, and to simply have local foods where locally grown. Say local pig farmers, local butcher shops, local greenhouses, local everything. Greenhouses here in Canada, greenhouses where we grow our own avocados, our own pineapples, our own mangoes, our own oranges, our own grapefruit, lemons. I mean, the list could go on. Bananas. The list could go on and on and on. Of the fruits that come from the tropics, and nothing wrong about with having fruit from the tropics, except if you've only eaten fruit that's you bought in the store in Canada, and you venture and go to Mexico or some of the tropical countries, and you pick fresh oranges off the trees there, or mangoes, or you eat it fresh where it's ripened on the tree. I mean, there is no comparison to how much more delicious it is, and how you know, how much better it is. I don't know how you would compare the the benefits, and the health benefits are just as staggering as what it tastes better. So thank you, Stephen, uh, for uh, for the comment on that toolbox. I appreciate it. Yeah, so these are things that we can look forward to, and this is all backed by TBC. It's TBC through which we can do all that. It's if we were to say look to Bitcoin to bridge that gap for us to do that, uh, I we would have to come up with something else because Bitcoin isn't going to do it. There's no way that Bitcoin would be able to cover that, and we could say the same thing for any of the other cryptocurrencies that presently exist, even though it's a great thing that they do because many people are busy with those, and of course, as Paul Fisher explains, and has I've been in many of his hangouts. He always explains how those are in the exchanges, and that is how the prices are manipulated in the exchanges, and of course uh, where it becomes sort of the same thing as what the central banks have been doing to us for over the many years, that of manipulating uh, and taking advantage of those who aren't as good at manipulating or aren't as don't understand the system as well, those kind of things. Whereas with TBC, we're evening the playing ground. We're the playing field is gets leveled a lot more because you know as TBC has been created to lift humanity out of poverty, which is already doing. And of course, there are still many areas in the world that we still need to reach, which I believe is going to happen much more rapidly in the future than what it has been up to this point in TBC. Uh, as some people are going to go to Africa, Stephen Coffey being one of them, and I don't know, is Bitcoin Scott going too? I'm not quite sure who's all going. Maybe I'm not up to on that quite enough. I've been so extremely busy lately creating websites as well. Um, so, but anyway, it is great to see that there are people going and meeting those kind of needs, which I certainly will be part of eventually too. Uh, even if I don't get sent by admin, I still will be. That I will fund it myself, but I will go. There is no doubt about it. I will go, um, and I will also help in those areas um, because it is a real passion of mine. To help humanity. What else would I want the TBC for, the coin for that I have, but to help and do good for humanity? I don't have any other purpose. I mean, yeah, we wanna live a decent life too, but most of the coin that I have, it'll be it'll be used for helping people. That's really what practically all of it is what it's going to be doing, right? And so that's the aim, and that is what TBC is all about: is to lift humanity out of poverty. And so in this video, or this broadcast, I noticed on the blog this morning that that it was automated, and I definitely wanted that in. So and other than that, just elaborate a little bit on the wealth of TBC, um, how it far supersedes that of Bitcoin or any other cryptocurrency, and the opportunity that we have, so massive, to help humanity in so many ways. And this will really begin showing up in the coming years, as we start to implement so many and so many areas in the world, and in many different ways in which economies are going to change, communities are going to change, and people will be living more abundantly, more joyful, having much more time, having much more money, and having, well, I don't mean more time, but you can't really increase time, but having much more money and time to use more as they please, as opposed to being enslaved to a day job that just barely keeps them to where they are just barely getting by. That kind of thing. That's what I mean. And that we will literally feel the abundance that TBC really brings to this world. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. And I wish you a wonderful day or evening, whatever it is that's ahead of you. Truly enjoy. Peace.